Hello, guys. Trust you're well. On the show today, obviously, we're still gonna stay with coronavirus because obviously coronavirus is the biggest news around, and to be honest with you, it's gonna be the biggest news around for many, many, many years to come. You look at the amount of money that our government is using, borrowing, just to keep the economy afloat. And it's going to take many, many years. My children will still need to pay back all this money that the government keeps rightfully pumping into the economy. But let's look at some of the news, the main news today. Virgin flies in millions of pieces of medical equipment from China. This is actually really good news. Yeah, they started earlier this month to bring personal protective equipment into the country. I believe they're trying to bring in 43 million pieces, 150 tons. Every day on the government meeting, journalists keep asking about these personal protective equipment, PPE. And the funny thing is, who knew about PPE before all this started? But everybody's talking about PPE. And this thing has been going on for ages, and yet still the government is still struggling to get doctors and nurses their proper uniform. In other news, we got 1 second. Let me have a look. British Airways to cut up to 12,000 jobs as air travel collapses. And it's just sad because that's another 12,000 jobs being lost. Recently, I looked and on the news, and 1.5 million people have claimed universal credit. And most of these people never knew that at some point in their life they'll have to be claiming benefit. But that's what the benefit system is there for. And the longer the lockdown goes on for, the more and more people are going to start losing their jobs. And it's just crazy because here we have an economy of where there's 12.1 million people who got no savings whatsoever. So they're just living basically from one paycheck to another. And overnight, bam, your job is gone. This is just absolutely devastating. Highly unlikely that John Lewis stores will reopen. Again, if John Lewis should decide to close their stores, then people gonna be out of work. People, people is gonna be out of work, and it make you wonder if the cure is gonna be even more costly than the virus itself, because people not working, people just being at home thinking, mental health problem, people, suicides. You see where they say over 4,000 people have been arrested in London, just London alone, because of domestic abuse. And John Lewis now, they think they might not reopen. At the moment, John Lewis got 50 sites, but majority of their goods is being sold online. So they're thinking that, hold on, maybe this need to be something on instead of being like a short term, even after the coronavirus is over, why not continue to sell majority of our items online? Why not? Instead of open up our stores. And it make a lot of sense. But the only problem is people gonna be losing their jobs. And it's gonna be even more strain on the economy. European airlines refusing to refund passengers for cancelled flights. And this news is just annoying. It's just absolutely annoying. Because if you look back, recently EasyJet got a 686 million euro bailout. Air France 7 billion um, bailout, and KLM 4 billion euro bailout. So why are they refusing? Why are they refusing to give passengers a refund? Instead, they're trying to offer these passengers travel vouchers and free rebooking. According to the law, You should be able to get a refund within 7 days. 7 days. But yet still they're trying to hold on to as much of these passengers' money as possible. Why are they doing that? Why don't they give passengers back their money? UK's road look busier again as Brits itch to get back out of coronavirus lockdown and back to work. Yeah, and you know, I can't disagree because I remember when the lockdown just started, and you're going to work or whatever, and the road, it was quite, it was very quiet. You hardly see any cars on the road. But I realized that last week and this week, the roads are starting to get a little bit more busier. The shops, even my corner shop, my corner shop, they close it. They close it after Boris came out and make the announcement. It's coming up to 5 weeks now. And my corner shop, they close. But last week they reopened. The old way shop around the corner from where I live, they also closed up. But on Monday they opened their door because at the end of the day, there got to be a balance between health and wealth. And the longer people keep their doors open or the longer people stay at home, the more it's going to affect their finances. So this week, the roads have become more and more busier. And the longer this lockdown goes on for, the more and more people going to go back to some form of normality. And even if it's not going to be normality, but at least a new norm. And that is what you're seeing on the road.
Please follow my daddy's channel, share his videos, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube.